Here we're asked to find the slope and the distance between the 2 points, and we're only given the points themselves. And if we're needing to, we can round to the nearest tenth on this. So first of all, the slope is going to help us with this here in finding the distance. So slope, a little bit of a reminder in slope, we know that it's the vertical change over the horizontal change. So remember, vertical change, we had this formula y2 minus 1 over x2 minus x1. So again, that's one way to find the slope here. So in this case here, I'm going to say we have y2 is -2, y1 is 10 over x2, which is 5, minus x1, which is 2. Now, again, if you need to, you can always sketch a graph here and kind of create this on a grid, which might be helpful, but we can do it without the grid. So I'm going to go ahead and walk through it without the grid first, and then we'll come back to the grid and show how it's done. So -2 minus 10 is going to be -12. 5 minus 2 is going to be 3. So our slope here is -4. Now we're asked to find the distance between these 2 points. So we know here that the vertical change is -12, or it's going down 12. And the horizontal change is going over 3. So if you think about that, the vertical change being down 12, horizontal change being over 3, that creates a right triangle. One length is 12 and one length is 3. Now what we're looking for is the distance between those 2 points. So really what we need to do is once we have the vertical change and the horizontal change, we can just plug that into Pythagorean theorem. Because in this case here, we can say that, we'll say that the horizontal change is A and the vertical change, nope, I did that the other way around. A is the vertical change, B is the horizontal change. So I'm going to do A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So I can solve for C. So in this case here, 144 plus 9 equals C squared. So I'm moving this over to the right because I'm running out of room here. But we have C squared is going to equal 144 plus 9, which is 153. But we're not looking for C squared, we're looking for C. So to get rid of this square, the inverse operation of that is a square root. These two cancel each other out, leave me with C. But I have to do the same thing to both sides, which ends up giving me the square root of 153. Now you could normally leave it like that, or if you want to, you can round it to the nearest tenth, which would give us about 12.4. So just really quickly on the graph here, the reason that the graph might help us is because that can help us create this triangle here. Because if we plot these 2 points where we have 2, 10, and 5, -2, now we can create this right triangle on the grid, which might help us and show us that, okay, we can count over 3 units here, and we can count down 12 units here, which would give us our right triangle. Now we can go ahead and use that to create the Pythagorean theorem and solve for our distance, which is C.